Okay, let's dive into something that's, well, it's pretty wild. We're talking about AI, universal basic income, and literally what our future is going to look like. It's a huge topic, so let's get right into it. So here's the big question, and it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? Could AI actually generate enough wealth to pay every single person a basic income? But, this isn't just some fantasy anymore. With AI's power just exploding, it's a real question we need to start asking, and fast. See, AI is this incredible double-edged sword. On one side, it's set to pump an insane $15.7 trillion into the global economy by 2030. But, and this is a huge but, it could also eliminate up to 800 million jobs in that same window. We're not talking about a small problem you can just patch up. This is something that could shake the very foundations of our society. So, what do we do about this? You can't just put a Band-Aid on a shift this big. The big idea being floated is that we need a fundamental redesign of our social contract, a whole new framework for society that's actually built for the age of AI. Okay, so this new social contract rests on three main pillars, and they all have to work together. First up, universal basic income, or UBI, to give everyone a financial floor. Second, universal healthcare, to keep us healthy and secure. And third, lifelong education, so we can all keep learning and adapting as the world changes like crazy. And this is where it gets really clever. These aren't just three separate ideas thrown together. No, they're designed to create this powerful, positive feedback loop. Think about it. UBI gives you the financial stability to actually afford healthcare or to go back to school. Being healthy makes it way easier to learn and contribute. And that education, that drives the innovation that makes this whole system stronger and more sustainable in the long run. They all feed each other. All right, it's a super compelling vision, for sure. But it brings up the elephant in the room, right? The trillion-dollar question. Can we actually pay for any of this? Let's take a look at the numbers. To get a real answer, economists came up with this really smart concept, the AI capability threshold. It sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple. It's the tipping point. It's how much more productive AI needs to become before the profits it generates are enough to pay for a UBI all on their own. So what's the magic number? Well, a super detailed economic model found that AI only needs to get about 5 to 6 times more productive than the automation we have today. If it hits that mark, it could sustainably fund a UBI of $12,000 a year for every single adult in the US. Now listen to this, because this is the kicker. That 5 to 6x number, that's based on a worst-case scenario. It assumes that AI automation creates zero, not a single one, new jobs. In reality, we'll probably get at least some new kinds of jobs, which means the real threshold we need to hit could be even lower. Okay, so the big question is when? When could this actually happen? Well, it all depends on how fast AI keeps getting smarter. If it keeps doubling its capability every couple of years, which is kind of the pace we're on now, we could hit that threshold in the early 2030s. Even if things slow down, we're still talking about some time in the next couple of decades. All right, so the math seems to check out, which is pretty amazing. But here's the thing. This isn't just something we sit back and wait for. This isn't a fixed destiny. It's a future we can actually shape with smart policies that can get us there even faster. You want to know one of the biggest levers we can pull? It's all about the profits. Right now, only about 15% of corporate profits make their way back to the public through taxes. But check this out. If we just increased that share to 33%, we could cut that AI productivity requirement almost in half, down from over 5x to just 3x. That's a huge difference. Okay, now this next one is going to sound a little weird, maybe even backward. You'd think that more competition is always a good thing, right? Well, when it comes to funding a UBI, it turns out that's not exactly true. A market with just a few huge dominant AI companies, basically a monopoly, actually makes it easier to fund a UBI, simply because their massive profits are all in one place and easier to tax and redistribute. So, okay, we've got this grand vision. The numbers are saying, hey, this could actually work. So what's the final piece of the puzzle? How do we actually, do it? What's the plan? Well, you don't just flip a switch and turn on UBI for a whole country. The blueprint is all about a smart step-by-step rollout. You'd start small, with pilot programs in places hit hardest by job losses. You'd learn what works. Then you start integrating these systems with healthcare and education. Then, finally, once AI's productivity really starts to take off, that's when you can scale it up for everybody. And that's the whole point, right?
This isn't just about putting up a shield to defend against AI job losses. No, this is about going on offense. It's about taking this massively disruptive force, AI, and using it on purpose to build a society that's more fair, more stable, and honestly, just more human.
So look, when you piece it all together, the research, the economic models, the policy plans, the path is there. It's actually possible. And that kind of changes everything, doesn't it? It means this isn't a technical problem anymore. It's not even really an economic one. It's a choice for us as a society to make. The question is no longer if we can build this kind of future, but if we will.